Peter in Wells, you go first. What do you think?
Oh, Nicky, it's so good to speak to you. I support Emma and her resident doctor colleagues 100%. I have complete solidarity. I think Wes Streeton's language is just nothing short of disgraceful. He talks about morally reprehensible, but I think he is. I think we should be showing overt solidarity on picket lines. I've got a box of chocolates which I bought from the garage, and I'm going to take that to the BRI later and give it to the doctors stood out there in the rain. I mean, I think Wes Streeton is overdiagnosed himself. He doesn't really understand what's happening or chooses to represent himself as not doing so. I just cannot believe that resident doctors and other colleagues in the NHS who put themselves in harm's way day in, day out during the pandemic, situations when they were actually going into work and having their life at risk, why should they now not have their pay restored? You know, they're actually having about a fifth less of what the pay should be since 2008, taking into account inflation. Wes Streeton is using intemperate language. I remember Dr. Liam Fox in the past used similar things. He talked about doctors in previous disputes when he was still relevant as being morally repugnant and terms like that. Wes Streeton should have a word in himself. How dare he talk about resident doctors in that way? I think it undermines his credibility as being a health secretary.
We call them a cartel.
I mean, what sort of language is that to use? It's disgusting. He's been on another radio station this morning trying the charm offensive. I think perhaps he's seen Zach Walensky's enormous success and he's trying his own version of it. It doesn't convince me.
For the sake of BBC accuracy, which is very much the thing this week, let me just give you his exact quote. I don't want him to sue me. We're not going to be held to ransom. We're going to plough on regardless. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that the BMA is no longer a professional voice for doctors. They are increasingly behaving in cartel-like behaviour.
Yeah, but he talked about ransom. He knows it before. I remember seeing an interview with Harry Cole, the song guy, and this was a year or so ago. But what he was saying was attacking middle-class lefties. And, you know, Wes has been doing this for a while, I think. I think he's probably influenced by some other voices about the health service and the direction of the NHS. But that's perhaps for another call-in. But, yeah, I am absolutely fuming about the way Wes is handling this. I mean, when they were in the shadow cabinet, they certainly were in the shadows when it came to supporting the NHS and striking. They kept well in the shadows. They didn't go near picket lines. They weren't a party of protest. Now they're in government with a huge majority. What on earth is the point of this Labour government? Obviously, it's likely that Wes will take over from Keir. I mean, Keir Starmer seems to have been quiet quitting for goodness knows how long. I think since his first day, he's kind of found it all a bit too much. I think Wes Streeton, for me, has just proven himself in his language to be absolutely disgraceful. My heart goes out to those patients that are affected in terms of any delays or cancellations. But the bigger picture is that the NHS is on its knees. And I think that's what's frustrating me. There's a lot of smaller picture. What's more important than our health, Nicky? Doctors have stood out there on picket lines now. I go back to my earlier sort of call of action. If people do go past, you know, I ride a bike. I'll stop my bike or I'll ring the bell when I go past. The reality is that this language against resident doctors is starting to pick up some traction. Wes Streeton is one person that says it, but also across the media, there is that kind of dialogue or narrative that, oh, come on, doctors, you've got this huge pay increase, so-called. It's not even in real terms a pay increase. They haven't reached pay restoration yet.